1-800-CONTACTS is the best company in the history of mankind. And they are in our ring and they are in our corner, and we couldn't do anything without them. Dave Walker is the Senior Vice President of Operations and Human Resources for 1-800-CONTACTS. Welcome.
Thanks, that was a fantastic introduction. I'm here representing the greatest company in the history of mankind. Actually, I'm actually thrilled to be here celebrating World Sight Day, and then celebrating the great organization like I Care for Kids is, and this program of Sight the World. And it's amazing what it's able to do. As you said, we have the vision of what we're wanting to do, and I say we because this is a partnership. This isn't a half-hearted involvement, but 1-800-CONTACTS is proud to align ourselves with such a great organization and such a great cause. And this is one that's really very personal to me. I was born with incredibly bad eyesight, and I struggled actually through almost all of kindergarten. Some of my earliest memories are the anxiety that I had before going to school most days as a kindergartner and then into first grade. I fell behind my class. I was very withdrawn socially. I always had this fear because I couldn't see anything that everyone was looking at me. And then one day my first grade teacher suggested to my parents, said, you may want to get his eyes checked. And my last name is Walker. The way that kind of worked, I sat in the back of the class. I couldn't see a thing. And so I went and got my eyes examined. And it turns out that my vision was about 2600. So without vision correction, I was legally blind, and explained a lot of things. And so my world changed completely the day that the doctor put the glasses on me. Everything changed for me. One of my most vivid recollections as a child was driving home from the doctor's office and just staring out the window at everything being now so clear. And then my life at school changed almost overnight. All of a sudden, I could see the chalkboard for one. That was a great start. And also the social interactions seemed more natural, and I could enjoy rather than dread something so simple as just going to recess. And so that's why I say it's personal to me. As a company, we're so excited about it. But personally, this is something that's incredibly meaningful because I know what it can do to have someone get a great start in life and in their education and in their social interactions by being able to see. Just having access to eye care and being able to see. And I realize that this is not unique. My story is not at all unique. There are so many children that are struggling or suffering through this every day, just this anxiety, and sometimes it's so easy to have it go without the proper care. So we're thrilled to be part of Sight the World, that's going to allow the greater access, the obviously affordability, and break through the geographical boundaries. And it's just an amazing program. We're also really excited to work with the other terrific partners. 1-800's not alone in making this happen, and we appreciate so much the introduction and a lot of the credit, but we're really appreciative for the other partners as we provide the support that we're going to provide, but working with all of the partners and working with Eye Care for Kids to ultimately our goal to sight the world. So it's an incredible thing to be a part of, and we're grateful to be here. Thank you.
Alan Hague has turned into a really good friend for all of us here at Eye Care for Kids, and especially me, since I deal with Alan as a member of the board in all communication matters. He decided to help Eye Care for Kids years ago and has done so every single day for probably 15 years now, maybe. Ladies and gentlemen, Alan Hague.
Thank you, Doug. Great pleasure to be here today on behalf of Eye Care for Kids, and also to recognize the new partnership that we've had kind of all along, but we've expanded that partnership as of today with the announcement of Sight the World. My earliest recollections of 1-800-CONTACTS was a contact or I had a nephew who worked at 1-800-CONTACTS many years ago. And they were a struggling young couple and here in Utah, and eventually went into law school, and he's now a law professor in San Antonio, Texas. But he always talks about his wonderful days at the beginning of this great company, 1-800-CONTACTS, and that was probably 15 or 20 years ago. And but a great company, and it's interesting, they've been sold several times, but yet the service and the wonderful things that they do continues. We here at iCare for Kids are fortunate enough to have Dave Walker sitting with us on our board of trustees. And when that happened, things began to happen. And as we began to talk about expansion of iCare for Kids, I think we were probably thinking too small. And it was Dave's vision, no pun intended, that we got the idea of maybe expanding virtually. And now with the technology that exists and probably didn't exist 4 or 5 years ago, we will be able to have exams for children online worldwide. We will be able to fulfill prescriptions and eyeglass requests worldwide. And that all comes in the next few months as this great initiative rolls out. We are proud of the opportunity we have here at iCare for Kids, centered in Midvale, Utah, but in numerous states now. And not only to serve the local communities here in the United States, which we'll continue to expand in, but here within the world community now. And so because of the online presence and the things that we're ready to do, and with our new website, sighttheworld.org, we're ready to do such a thing. The impetus behind a lot of this has been the great association I've had for the last 15 years with Joseph Carbone. This gentleman he has boundless energy and is a great inspiration to us all here at iCare for Kids. And we certainly couldn't have done it without him and Jan on her efforts to push him along, which I know she does. But great people, and have put together one heck of an organization that is here to serve children and adults, which we do in some of our clinics. We're also in front of a major expansion that we have here in the Midvale area, so we can double the capacity of what goes on here at iCare for Kids. So thank you very much, and we are so honored to have Dave with us today from 1-800-CONTACTS.
And he lives and breathes this organization, and because of that, children around the world now can see. And it is unbelievable what this organization is about to do worldwide. Joseph Carbone.
Good morning. Thank you so much for coming today. World Sight Day. Globally, organizations around the world celebrate sight. And it's always the second Thursday of October, where they want to bring the knowledge and the importance of sight to everybody. That everybody should have an annual eye exam, should have the glasses that they want and need, and especially children. And as we look across the globe, and as we were doing our research on forming Sight the World, from the World Health Organization and from the United Nations, some friends that we have there told us that there were about 500 million children across the world who do not have access to vision care. They don't have the ability to get an eye examination. They don't have eyeglasses. And so as you just heard a personal story from Dave Walker on how that is, and my heart goes out to Dave on that. Just in our clinics every day, and we have 9 clinics across the United States. In our clinics every day, we hear a story very similar to Dave's. The first child we saw in Las Vegas on day 1, after the examination, the mother and child came out of the exam room and expressed with tears in her eyes that at school they told her that her child was slow. And she found out that day that all he needed was an eye exam and a pair of glasses. But he wasn't slow. He wasn't socially awkward. And so we have the great blessing and privilege to be able to do the work we do. I am profoundly grateful to our board of trustees. In the audience, we have 2 board members, a former board member. We have people who have supported and loved and carried Eye Care for Kids over the last 20 years. My gratitude is for my wife, because without her, this never would have happened. So Jan, thank you. Can you imagine a child not being able to see? Can you imagine a child going to school and not having a pair of glasses? Something that really blew me away not too long ago, we had a child in, and they were wearing really big glasses. And so what we do when a child comes in, if they're wearing glasses, we ask them about the glasses that they're wearing. And we put them on a machine called a lensometer and read the prescription so we know what they have been wearing. And we said, so how long have you had these glasses? Oh, these aren't my glasses. These are my brother's glasses. They're hand-me-downs from my brother. Can you imagine that? Now, we understand clothes. When money's tight and families are young, there are clothes that get handed down. But glasses. So mom and dad, families have to choose between food, paying the rent, or buying glasses. And so we have another privilege, because sometimes when a child is poor, they have hand-me-downs, they don't get a chance to choose. And so the way we set up our clinic is the frames are on a board, just like in any other optical store that you would go into. And the child gets a chance to shop. They get to pick out any frame on the wall off the display that they want. And you can see the child change right then. You can see the expression on their face that, wow, it's not just a hand-me-down that someone is giving me this. That's what I have to wear. I get to choose what I want. And that just really helps a child in their self-esteem and their way along life. I sat down with a friend in Las Vegas, Ms. Elaine Wynn from Wynn Resorts. And as we sat and talked, she's a great supporter of Eye Care for Kids in Las Vegas. And she said, Joseph, you can have a mobile clinic and you can put one on the road every month for the rest of your life, and you won't scratch the surface. And I took that to heart. And so as we brought our board together, and we got great people represented on our board from great companies nationally. And when we put our heads together and we thought, how can we do the best we can with what we have? And yes, it's We've helped 300,000. But how do we grow that to 1 million, and then 2 million, then 10 million? Because there's 500 million kids in the world that don't have access, don't have the money. And the idea of Sight the World came into being. And it's as easy as using your device, using your computer, and you can get, coming soon, a virtual eye exam. You can get a virtual try-on where you click the frame and the frame suddenly appears on the picture of your face, and you can see what the frame looks like, and get the glasses made and ordered. So we're grateful for our partners. We partner with Esler Vision Foundation. We partner with Modern Optical International. We partner with Miraflex for pediatric frames, Lingo Eyewear, and of course 1-800 Contact Lenses. And as we said, this is not just a collaboration. It's just not something that we're going to do for a day or for this World Sight Day. This is a partnership that will endure much longer than I'll be on this earth, and we will sight the world. Thank you so much.